In a video I made a week or so ago, I gave you my initial thoughts on using the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 renewed through the Amazon Renewed program. I've been streaming on Amazon for a few months now, looking at stuff, and I kept seeing these Amazon Renewed phones at really good prices, and finally I just got to the point where I was like, I gotta give one a try and see what kind of quality phone you get when you get one from Amazon Renewed. And the Note 9 was a no-brainer for me. I've always loved the Note series, and as time has passed, I've realized that the Note 9 is probably the best Note we're ever going to get. It was the last of the Notes to come pretty much free of compromise, as Samsung always liked to have the Notes be, and it had a headphone jack. It was the only phone I felt that was worth $1,000 when it came out in 2018, and that includes phones like the iPhone 10. There were just a lot of phones that I didn't think were worth that price tag, but the Note 9 I did. How would a used Note 9 fare in 2020? The price was right, $350 for a $1,000 phone, but what would I be getting? I mean, you can check out the other video to see some of my initial reactions, but in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what it's been like to use the Note 9 in 2020 just after I got rid of the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. I'm going to talk about the build, the software, the everyday use, and finally, whether or not it's worth considering the Note 9 from Amazon Renewed or Swappa or any of those places, instead of going for a brand new phone that's probably exponentially more expensive and less feature-rich than the Note 9 is really. So to put it simply, the build of the Note 9 is stellar. The Amazon Renewed stuff doesn't come in an original box, but it did come in a Samsung branded box, and all of the must-have accessories were right there. There was a Samsung charging brick, there was a Samsung USB cable. You didn't get the AKG headphones, which are really, really fantastic headphones, but honestly, I wouldn't want used earbuds at all. I don't know how you feel, but used earbuds to me, no thank you. Since the Note 9 has a headphone jack, if you're somebody who cares about that kind of thing, you probably already have some headphones lying around. And Samsung actually has a nice suite of like audio tuning software inside of their settings, so you can get some really good stuff going on here. I've done tons of reviews of headphones on this channel, so you can check those out as well. As for the phone itself, had I not known it was a renewed phone, I would have easily been fooled into thinking it was new, not renewed. I could have easily just, somebody shrink wrap the box and give it to me, and I would have paid more money for it maybe. There were no signs of wear and tear anywhere on the phone. In fact, it came with peel-off plastic on both sides, just like any new phone. There wasn't a scratch on the glass on either side, no dings in the sides. It was still shiny and new, and there was nothing wrong with it. I don't know where they're getting these Amazon Renewed phones from, but either they are wizards in making products look exactly like they were when they were new, or no one ever used this phone. The screen quality itself was just as good as I remembered. The thing about smartphones these days is that since around 2017, flagship phones have gotten pretty amazing, and not much has changed. Yes, every year a little bit better here, a little bit better there. The screen on a newer Samsung phone might be marginally better than the Note 9, but it would take some serious looking to really find the differences. I came to this Note 9 straight from the S20 Ultra, and I didn't really feel like I was losing anything when I did. Yes, the Note 9 has a 60 Hz screen, while the S20 Ultra and the others have 120 Hz, but honestly, I couldn't tell the difference. I didn't tell the difference. Maybe it's because I go through phones so quickly. I've always got a variety of phones around me, but the Note 9 screen, fantastic, and there's nothing in the 2 years since that has made it outdated, and I doubt there really will be for a couple of years more to come. Performance-wise, this Note 9 came out of the box fast, fluid, and has stayed that way, which is sometimes a problem with Samsung phones. One of the first things I did after I got the phone was go straight into settings and see if there were any updates, and there were updates. Actually, 3 updates had to be applied before I was ready to use by the time it was done, I had Android 10, I had Samsung's One UI 2.0. They didn't really think that name through, did they? And it looked great. It was no different than the S20 when I started using it. As such, there wasn't really any noticeable difference in the usage or navigation to the phone from the phone I had just used. And let's take a second to remember that the S20 Ultra costs $1,400, and this Note 9 came to me for $350. Let that sink in for a second. The Snapdragon 845 in the Note 9 showed no signs of struggling with anything I was trying to do with it, which furthers my belief that from year to year, newer versions of these chips are just not really perceptibly different. Yes, you can run benchmarks and show improvements, but in daily use, I don't think those improvements are really noticeable. The same is true for the amount of RAM in the phone. My model came with 128 gigabytes of storage and 6 gigabytes of RAM, while newer Android flagship phones are typically coming around with 8 or 12 gigabytes of RAM. In everyday use, I couldn't notice a difference in performance at all. Maybe it wasn't keeping as many apps in memory, but really, it wasn't noticeable to me whatsoever. To put it succinctly, there was nothing about using the Note 9 in 2020 that was a subpar experience compared to the latest phones from Samsung or anybody else. The Note 9 feels solid, it looks and feels like a brand new phone. I preferred the slightly larger bezels at the top because that meant I didn't have any holes in the screen or anything like that. I never felt like I was missing out on anything at all. I can happily use the Note 9 for the foreseeable future, and if you find yourself still owning one and thinking about getting something else or about buying one for yourself, there's no reason to be nervous about either of those things. The Note 9 is still an incredibly solid phone in 2020. I'm going to leave a link to the Amazon Renewed stuff that I was talking about down in the description below. I did the same thing with the iPhone 7 Plus, and if you want to see that video, you click over here. I've got more videos on the way comparing older phones and newer phones and just really doing this re-review thing to see what it is that we really are or are not missing. So if you want to see those, be sure to click subscribe and come on back again. Bell notify yourself so you know when the video comes out. And if you have any questions whatsoever about the Note 9 or my experience with it or anything else really, just let me know down in the comments below. I have to say again that I'm really impressed. Just tell me, are you using a Note 9 still? Down in the comments. Boisterous discussion down in the comments below. Thanks so much for being here though. I really do appreciate it. My name's Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech! Tech! So honest it hurts. Until the next time, I'm out.